Feel me like a Hellcat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Aspirant Gaming and the Interrogation Files, and we're waiting up here in Pluto Bay. It's Banks of Ramos, of course.
179 Yankee, if I can get,
I'm gonna mute that thing because I don't need to listen to it today. The Cagney and Lacey of San Andreas. We're waiting for a deputy to come and have a chat to us today. He's not a suspect, he is a witness, or a family member at least. Hopefully he can help us shed some light on a case we're working. Last week I found a Vice City PD detective murdered in Raton Canyon. He'd been tortured and shot. He was in state on personal business visiting
There's
a
a boy.
relative. Yep, here he is. So we need to find out more about the case. So this might be a little hard. We have to be a little sensitive, of course. We're going to have to find out how this one goes. But we will do our very best. Hopefully he'll join us in a second once he gets out of his car. Ba-da-ba, come on, out your car. Is he waiting for us to come and... Oh no, he's coming. Deputy Booten, is it?
Yes ma'am, you must be, Detective Banks.
Detective Banks, pleasure to meet you. I wish it was under nicer circumstances. Would you like to follow me? This is my colleague, Detective Ramos.
Yes ma'am, will do.
Yep.
Nice to meet you,
Pleasure to
Detective.
meet you, given the circumstances.
Yes ma'am.
How are you doing?
Could be better.
Yeah, I hear ya.
We'll conduct the interview in my office rather than in an interview room. We don't need anything like that.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
not exactly a typical interview.
No, it's not. Okay, first off, you are fully entitled, as always, to an attorney or your union representative to be here. I want you to know that at this time you are not under investigation, nor would we even consider as such. I will be recording this interview for my files, but I do not feel the necessity to caution you at this time or read you your rights. You are not a suspect. Do you understand?
Yes ma'am, understood.
Okay, so, let me just check my notes here. Okay, so, I believe I was told by Sheriff Riley you were related to Detective McDonald, is that correct?
Yeah, yes ma'am, we do have a, relationship of some sort, if you'd like to say.
Could you tell me what that relationship was? Family? It was, wasn't it?
Yes ma'am, we were actually, co-workers, back where I originally came from in Vice City, and as well as, he was my father-in-law.
Okay. Victim's son-in-law, and with him in city. Okay, so your father-in-law was in town. First off, sorry, I want to say I'm very incredibly sorry for your loss, and we're going to do everything we can in our power to catch his killer. I hope you know that.
Yes ma'am.
I'm going to have to ask you some questions here. Some of them, you're a law enforcement officer, you know the realities of an investigation, and I'm going to have to ask some difficult questions. And I appreciate you coming to talk to us in your time in this, and I hope, as much as this is a personal matter, you can be a little objective as an officer and help us with our work here. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
apologise if I come across blunt.
Nope, no, it's just part of the job. I know that.
Okay, so your father-in-law was in town visiting family. Was it just you, or was it other members of the family?
No, ma'am, it was just me.
So he was just here to visit you.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of it goes back quite a ways away to where I did my time on Vice City Police Department, and yeah.
Okay. How many years did you work for them?
Oh gosh, it seems like an eternity ago now, but Want to say, let's see, 2020, so 19, for about 7, 8 years.
Okay. Who was aware that your father-in-law was coming to San Andreas?
Besides myself, which I didn't even really know till he showed up at my doorstep. I don't think anybody else except our handler, which would be Special Agent Simmons.
You guys had a handler?
Yeah. Could
Yes,
you
ma'am.
explain?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to work my best to get you those files as soon as I can. But
Understandable.
originally, no worries.
Interesting.
So, little bit of pretext. Back when I first started with Vice City Police Department, the captain was my stepfather, and the detective was my father-in-law. As I said before, I was dating his daughter. They took me under their wing, helped me, get everything I needed in order to do the police academy and so on and so forth. Fast forward to after graduation, they were able to put me on the Vice City SWAT team, as well as a special operations task force that was only controlled by the governor himself. The code name for that was Bears. You'll receive all this in the file once I get it sent
Understandable.
through to me. But originally the operation, we took down major crime families throughout Vice City. And after we ended up taking them down, I was injured in an off-duty incident that put me into a medical coma for a solid 4 months. After waking up, I received that apparently our task force, as well as the prosecutors and judges, were all hunted down by a group that we still don't know, and started going after us one by one. After that, came across the FIB, got involved, as well as the Marshal Service, gave me a new name and identity, as well as a new birth date. Sorry, I'm choking up a little bit.
I
But
understand.
after that,
Okay.
I was moved down here to not moved, but relocated to San Andreas, and they had already put my application through the sheriff's office down here with my name, as you may know, as Isaiah Butthand.
So would the sheriff be aware of this?
No, ma'am. I originally
Okay.
did not inform her of this at the moment. The marshals and the FIB stated that unless I was to either go on my own or an event happened to where they needed to inform, that's when I would need to inform them. So with
Okay,
the
so
detective's death, then
to just clarify here, Agent Simmons was FIB or Marshal Service?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Nope, FIB.
Okay, so your father-in-law was involved in this task force or not?
Yes, ma'am. Originally under the governor at the time of Vice City, originally the only people that were informed of the task force, knowledgeable-wise and rank-wise, was myself, the detective, the captain, and the governor himself, and the chief.
How many members
Okay.
were a part of your task force?
Overall, it was a 20-member task force ranging mainly from the SWAT department. However, this task force was kept on the down low, so only a selected few members were selected. They weren't, made aware of anything, but
Okay.
we were there.
And your father-in-law was involved in the task force, but he did not take witness protection. He remained in Vice City as a detective, is what I'm hearing.
I believe so. Once I was relocated over here, I had no contact with them or anybody else of my task force. Um, the only reason why he came down, which I can regret, is not my fault. I feel like. I was the only one left alive.
Okay, and
What about your wife? His daughter, right?
That was another situation. When I was put into the medical coma. She actually passed.
I'm
It
so
was a
sorry.
hit out on me, I guess, and they took out my entire left side. I have a steel plate now, along with reconstruction, and the bullet kept going through and killed her.
I'm
so
very sorry.
Deputy.
I need to be very honest with you right now, because your father-in-law's death has the hallmarks of a hit. This wasn't a random killing. This wasn't an accident. He was... And I'm going to, unfortunately, have to give you the gory details because you need to understand the severity of this. He was tortured before he was killed. Which means they wanted information. And what you've told me now is that this task force is most likely not as bad as it could have been. If I'm brutally honest, not as bad as it could have been. Shot in the arms, then one in the back of the head. So it could have been a lot worse, you understand? But at the same time, they wanted information from him. So I need you to understand just how serious this is, that there is something you're not telling us that relates to this. And whilst I don't want to push you, I need to understand, because if something like this has been brought to San Andreas, this now becomes my problem. And if I'm to catch your father-in-law's killer, I need to know everything I can. I need to be armed with whatever I can get hold of to deal with these people. Because it won't be the first time we've gone up against organised crime, but at the same time, I need you to be as honest as possible here. They wanted information out of him. What could that be?
I wish I could tell you. The only thing I have is in the files that I'm still waiting on getting from Simmons himself. But
okay. Who else is alive?
The only thing, from what the detective told me, he said I was the only one still alive that they knew of. Everybody else has either disappeared off into the wind or they lost track of them.
So it was you and him, the only two survivors until now.
I didn't even know he survived.
You were working on together? What was the last case you were working on together?
That would be the main operation that we ended up taking down with the Bears task force. Basically, that Bear stood for basic entry and armed reconnaissance. And what our job primarily to do was to infiltrate through the gang levels, make our way up, and provide any sorts of intel that we had to try to cripple their organization.
The gang task force.
Yes, ma'am. So originally, after that occurred, we set out. It was about a 7-year operation, and it was, I believe, if the date was correct, it was the 28th and 29th of 2018 of December. We in coordination with ourselves, VCPD SWAT, the FIB, and DEA services, we conducted a series of raids throughout the city, taking down the crime families that were in charge and in play at the time. And then the only thing that bothers me to this day, that possibly could have connection to this, was the Diablos.
Oh no.
The Diablos takedown that we occurred with.
Diablos. Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
That's don't know exactly what you guys if
have
you've had
history
any
with them.
run-ins with them. Alrighty.
About 10 years ago.
I don't know if they're don't know if they have any interconnections or whatnot.
Do you
but
remember
this,
reading about a attack by the Diablos on a police station in Los Santos about 10 years ago? They invaded a police station to try and recover their boss.
I believe so. It was Mission Row PD, correct?
Yeah, I was there.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, I remember that clear as day. Sorry for you guys' loss as well.
Yeah, we lost a few good
ran
guys
them
that day.
out of Los Santos, didn't it?
That was the end of their time in the state, so they must have moved on to Vice City shortly after that. Is there any way this
They
isn't a
didn't
purely
last in San
revenge-based mission, that this isn't trying to get information on your location from him just to wipe you out? Could this possibly be that you guys know something or knew something you might not possibly be aware of about the organization that successors want to know?
It could be a possibility. They had a small little island, if you want to say so, about 10 miles off the coast from Vice City when we originally took them down. We made entrance to the compound as well as the surrounding areas to it. I led one of the task force primarily, and then the lieutenant at the time of SWAT, he led the other task force through the other end of the compound. The only thing I can think of in regards to anything possibly revenge related towards me is the son or the mother of the head of the Diablos gang, at least down there in Vice City.
So the son of the mother of the head, does that make him the head of the Diablos, or the Diablos head's brother?
To be completely honest, I don't know. My primary objective was to take him in alive, and unfortunately we weren't able to do so.
Okay.
I can give you the details of that if you'd like, or if you want to, you can wait for the file.
I'll wait for the files from
We'd like
Simmons.
To know some names.
I'm going to need to talk to Simmons because I need to know why this situation has been dragged to my state and why we weren't informed.
They're still active. In San
Because the
Fierro.
local FOB office should be aware. Yeah, they are up in San Fierro. Okay, I'm going to need to wait for any further contact until I see these files. Budin, thank you for coming in, and thanks for talking to us today. I may need to talk to you again once I've seen the files, but I believe at this time it's probably going to be safest if we bring you into protective custody. Maybe just a cruiser outside your home, but I'm not sure it's safe to have you out on the streets.
If there's one thing, Detective, in all due respect, I think I can handle myself when it comes to that aspect of it. But if you insist that it'll be, easier on you guys' part to put one out there, then you're more than welcome to.
Well, look, when you're at work, perhaps you're a little bit safer. You've got a gun and you're ready for it. But when you're at home, I want to have a cruiser outside your home. Because if your father-in-law told them anything, and if it is simply about revenge, they could be coming for you. And I don't want that on my hands. Macho bravado aside, I've taken bullets before in the line of duty, okay? I've killed people in the line of duty. I know what it's like. The macho bravado goes out the window the second the first magazine goes into the gun, okay? Don't play the superhero. Don't play the big balls dude who's, I'm too tough to need protection. These people are serious, and I've seen some of the stuff they do. That cruiser will be outside your home when you're not on shift. And that's the very bare minimum that I will accept. Do you understand?
Yes,
if it was up to me...
As I said before.
If it was up to me, I'd be pulling you out of here and straight back into the Marshals program. Back into Whitpro, off somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm still in Whitpro. That's why I have
and they
a
should
big
be
name and
whisking you off
everything else.
somewhere
So
else.
for them
They should be whisking you away someplace else to avoid this mess. If there's possibility you're compromised. Because the possibility exists you are compromised.
Oh no, I'm accepting that I'm already am compromised, which is the fact that they informed me that since I am, working with you guys, and I don't know why they decided to pull it off like this, I'm pretty much on my own when it comes to
Right.
that.
Now you're not on your own anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, and in response to, the marshals taking care or try to relocating or anything like that, I'm on my own. But in reality, I know I'm not.
Gotta love the feds. Look, I need you to tell this to
Oh yeah.
Sheriff Riley because she deserves to know. And her people will be handling your protection. Okay? So I want
Yes,
you to go
ma'am, I'm
next door and
fully
talk to
aware
her
of-
when you're done here. And talk to her because she deserves to hear it. From you, not from me. From what I've heard, you're a good deputy.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay? And she'll be completely fine with it, but she needs to know. Again, I'm sorry
Yes,
for your
ma'am,
loss, but
I'm
I'd rather
fully
not
aware
lose
of
two
that.
people in my state over this.
Nope,
Thanks for coming
I
in.
completely agree with that. Of course, if you ever need anything else, let me know. I'm
I will
more than
most likely
welcome to
contact you
help
again
out.
once I get the files from Simmons. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Well done. Also, if you need a location of where I'm at, staying wise, not too far from here, just the motel off of Polito.
Understood. I appreciate it. We'll get the details
Gotcha.
from the sheriff's office. Thank you.
Understood. No problem. Anything else for me?
No, thank you. Not this time. We'll call you.
Thank you,
Understood.
Isaiah.
Of course.
Would you show him out,
Thank you.
Ramos? Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be an interesting case. I'm looking forward to see where this goes. And the feds are involved. The Diablos are back. No, God, I thought we'd escape that. Revenge takes 10 years, apparently. We're going to have some fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.